Well, hello guys. Today I want to talk about a book called The Protein to Energy Ratio by Ted Naiman and William Sheffield. It's a book about, you guessed it, about diet, and specifically how to get lean, technically, how to achieve the best body composition. But to go straightforward to the point, I just want to talk about just about something the book talks about, which is the point it makes by going, this is low carb better or is low fat better? And I fell into the trap, you know, of going keto. Because, keto sounded like the best way to eat, an option, plus everything I read about it, about like insulin response and diabetes. I was like, man, going keto and just going like a variation, like carnivore, is like the healthiest way to eat. Plus, it would make sense since our like ancestors really come from just eating meat. I mean, there was no such thing as like whole grains back then, I guess, until the agricultural revolution. And after reading the book and watching like a couple of his videos where he talks about the like this point and in the book, everything started to like puzzle in and like click, which means that technically I learned that if you're like on the leaner side, if you're already somewhat lean, intermittent fasting doesn't really benefit you because the same benefits you can achieve with intermittent fasting you can achieve with just being leaner. You can just achieve by just being in a lower weight. So it doesn't matter if you're intermittent fasting or caloric restriction. Another thing I wanted to talk about was like, holy crap, it opened my mind because on low carb you're gonna see people who have lost a lot of weight, and on low fat you're gonna see a lot of people who've lost a lot of weight. And it's a debate whether which one is best, but in reality both are right. I have unlocked both diets. Technically, what they do is they just increase, eliminating one macronutrient or the other. They just increase the protein leverage, which is what the book is essentially about. Increasing protein. It doesn't matter if you're low carb or low fat. The best result is by reducing both, right? And increasing protein, because protein is the most satiating calorie per gram, which means you're gonna eat less, and you'll be fuller for longer than fat or protein or carbs. And basically, anything that is refined is bad. Like refined sugar, flour, oils, because refinement increases caloric density, which means that gram per gram, they have way more calories than just eating something that is whole, like a real food thing, like a potato. Like like sugars and sweets have like a bunch of calories compared to just eating like a banana, for example. The problem isn't the problem. Carbs aren't the problem, and fat isn't the problem. The problem is the dilution of protein, and basically the majority of like obesity, you know, is thanks to they don't eat enough protein in their diet. They overeat energy, and you are what you eat. If you overeat energy, you are energy. If you overeat protein, you are protein. Technically, and to increase protein on every meal, you need to make sure you obviously eat more protein and fiber. Because if you eat more protein and fiber, you'll automatically eat less fat and carbs. So, that's one way of increasing the protein leverage is by eating more protein and fiber per meal. That reduces fat and carbs. And I used to go keto, and then I realized that I can eat technically whatever I want as long as I like control like portion sizes. Technically, like I can eat brown. Of course, brown like whole grains are better than white. So like because they have more fiber and protein. So I can eat like, for example, Athlete X has like this way he divides his plate. He divides it in like dean protein occupying the majority of one of the biggest parts, starchy carbohydrates occupying like a smaller portion, and like fiber taking place the second biggest portion. Or he usually just flips it around and goes like starches occupy the biggest part of the plate and fibers the smallest, which is exactly what you should do if you want to eat. Another ways, for example, is like eating French toast. Like when you're making French toast, you take the egg yolk out of the eggs, so you increase the protein to energy ratio of that meal. So you're eating less protein. I mean, you're eating more protein and less energy, for example. So in the book, I learned, in the book they say like it doesn't matter what you eat, just like focus on the protein leverage of the meal. So if you're eating something that's fattier or you're eating something with more fat, eat less carbs. If you're eating something with more carbs, just eat less fat. But never eat both fat and carbs at the same time, because those two are really highly addicting. Like donuts, especially if it's processed, they're really highly addictive, and they're gonna make you overeat like by a crap ton, and that's gonna make you fat technically. So what you want to avoid is like the refined stuff, like oils, sugar, and flour, which are refined. Whole grains are higher in fiber, so I bet that whole grains are better than you know whole grains are better than whites. And yeah, you just want to reduce fat. You just want to reduce energy by eating less carbs or fat, technically. And that would be it.